So I think Lucifer's worries are going to be put on the back burner for at least a little bit. Hey everyone, welcome to Prince of the Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Season 2, Episode 13 of Lucifer. And last time, he found out about the entire thing with Chloe being basically put there specifically for him. Which, the thing is, I don't actually believe changes anything. Because it's like, I get the idea is like his worry now and what, like, you know, his mom was trying to accomplish with this and him finding out was the idea like, oh, if she was put here for him, then it's not real. The relationship they had, the love they had isn't real. It's like, why and how do you come to that conclusion? No matter how you view it, she has free will. That's just undeniable and unquestionable. And if she has free will, then no matter if she was put here to be in Lucifer's path, the relationship is still real. That's just the fact. Because, like, what we know that Amenadiel did is he blessed her mom so that she could, give birth to Chloe. And so that she would be, and that Chloe would be put in the path in the future of Lucifer. It was specifically for that purpose, but other than that, Chloe is an ordinary human. Like, the only difference is that her meeting Lucifer was ordained, was set up. Otherwise, she has, like, entirely free will. It's like, she might have met Lucifer and it still might have not worked out at all. They might never have had an actual connection. Her personality and everything is still hers, based on her experiences and everything, which was not part of what was set up. So, this is still entirely real. Their relationship is still, like, 100% authentic. But Lucifer's mindset right now has just been focusing on the fact that it was set up. So he's probably at least thinking or wondering if maybe she doesn't have free will. But we have no reason to believe that. We have absolutely zero reason to believe that. Lucifer's just emotional. And he's just letting this get to him, especially because this news came from, his mother and everything. And so there's the aspect of worry because he knows she's been, fucking around with things. Kind of literally, too. So it's also that aspect of thing that's caused him this anxiety. But either way, when he goes to check with Chloe to see if she, like, knows about this, which, why the hell would she? She doesn't even believe he's the devil. Like, why would she actually, like, why would she know about this? Again, he's emotional, he's not thinking clearly, but still. But he finds that she's apparently been somehow drugged, in the same way that these college students and all were. But the killer was already, stopped. Like, he committed suicide. But the way he was acting prior to that implied that he was, like, not just okay with his death, but also possibly prepared for it. Which means he set some things up ahead of time. Now, I don't know how she did end up getting poisoned, but somehow she did, and it's starting to affect her, and that's obviously bad. And since he's dead, he's the only one who had, like, the knowledge of these poisons, so how are we going to create the correct antidote for that in time? So a lot of questions here, a lot of interesting vibes, but even with like his, anxiety over like finding this all out, he's absolutely going to help her because he still loves her. That's why he's so upset at the moment. Because he loves her. And because he's like, coming to realize he loves her. And so this feels almost like a betrayal, especially if in his eyes maybe she did know. Maybe it was like that much of a setup, even though obviously it wasn't. But, he's not thinking clearly. But this is definitely going to snap him out of that to a degree because he's going to focus on saving her. And we are starting to get more of a cohesive, like, ongoing narrative with this. We started this a couple episodes ago with the mysterious one who killed Jamie Kennedy's character, who I don't think was the professor from last episode. I still think that's too easy. I think that was someone who was above the professor. Like, maybe someone the professor was, like, even working with. But I think that that's still going to come into play and probably be something about how they even fix this and stop this, finding out there's still more behind this. And I think that's going to lead into the finale as well, with the case side of things. I still also think, I mentioned this last time, I still also think God will appear by the end of the season. It just seems to be setting up for that. Especially since I don't know how else we're going to deal with Lucifer's mom at this point. I don't think we're going to be able to fully just convince her regularly. I think God's going to have to get involved. But we'll see. We'll see. All of that being said, we're just going to get into this and see what this episode has in store for us. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, if you told me this episode was the season finale, I would believe you. Because it feels like it. And if you told me that how do I put this? I might have worded this wrong from the get-go. If you asked me, rather, how or what's going to happen next in this season, no fucking clue, honestly. Because I mean, outside of like the strong probability that God's going to appear by the end of the season, I can't see how you continue after this. Like, I know this season's 18 episodes long, and like the next season is like, I don't know, 24, 26, something like that. Then it starts like going into shorter seasons from that point on. But it just feels like this really was meant to be the finale. And it feels weird to continue after this, right? Because in terms of the scale, in terms of the, just the what is happening in it, in terms of even the ending, this is in every way except, literally a season finale episode, right? By all logic, by how it's written. And I don't know if like this was intended to be written as the season finale, and maybe like they like got a bigger order than they were expecting and added more episodes. I don't know. But I wonder if I could find out. Like, I could look up the episode here, and I could see, like, sometimes it'll give you, like, little fun facts. What is this episode called? 13? Season 2, episode 13 is A Good Day to Die. Lucifer, A Good Day to Die. I'm not going to look up anything else in terms of future stuff and all, because obviously spoilers, but a lot of these wikis will show like fun facts about episodes or whatnot, so I'm trying to see if this has any on it. Featured music. Here we go, trivia. Okay. I'm just kind of skimming through things in case anything mentions like future episodes. I'm not seeing anything. Was A Good Day to Die meant to be a season finale? Lucifer. Okay, so it's like according to this, it was a winter finale. So I guess they took a break in between this episode and the next episode. Okay, I'm seeing something here that's I don't know if this is accurate or not, but there is something here that says it was supposed to be. But I don't know if that's accurate. Um Again, I don't want to look up too much else because possible spoilers, but hold on. Let me see if I can find out. Like, I want to check on that, like, air date and everything. This aired January 30th of 2017. And the next episode aired in May. Okay, so yeah, there was a multi-month break in between. Um, Really interesting. So it's not mid-season, obviously. Like, there's what, five? Yeah, 5 episodes after this. So it's like 13 and 5. It's not quite a mid-season finale, but it kind of acts the part of that, it seems. I did see one like article when I looked it up, but I don't know if that's true, and I wasn't gonna look up the article in case of any other spoilers, but it said like it was meant to be a season finale, and I don't know if that's true or not, but if so, I'd believe it. Like I said, this really felt like a season finale in terms of the scale, the events, and everything. It kind of like felt like a proper like wrapping of everything that happened previously in the season. While it feels like it's going to like, start to touch on the next stage of the story with next episode, especially with Lucifer, disappearing at the end and just kind of running away from his problems and everything. So yeah, my view on it is I feel like this almost should have been the finale. It just feels really weird to continue the season from this point on. And there's like a really strong part of me right now that's actually like kind of telling me to take a break. um which is interesting because how many episodes have we done since we came back to this? I'm not 100%. Give me a second to see if I can find out here. I have luckily my YouTube Studio up on the browser, So as long as this, like, starts to work, because it's like it hasn't been active, so it has to realize, it's like, oh, you want to do something with this window? Give me a second here. Because I don't want to like take a break in the season again. If I've only done like a few episodes. I honestly have no idea how many episodes I've done since I came back to this. I want to see if it's at least going to be enough to make it like feel worth it. Because again, it just feels like this should be the season finale, right? Okay, so we came back on May 20th with episode 8. That was our first episode back. So we did 5 episodes prior to this. So this is the 6th episode we're doing. And then coming back after this, we'll have 14, 15, 16, 17, 8, 5 more episodes. So this is like halfway, basically, through the remaining season from when we took our first break from the season. Because we left off at episode 7. So it'd be 7, then 6, then 5. Which kind of works. I don't know. Maybe it's my autism speaking, but that kind of makes it feel a little better. And this genuinely was not something I was even considering today. Like, going into this episode, it's like I had no plans to stop watching this until I finished the season. I was legitimately planning on going all the way to episode 18 and finishing out the season. I had no reason not to, but this really feels like a finale. And it really feels like I'm supposed to take a break here. And mind you, this was a sort of mid-season finale, and there was a few months break between. January to February, March, April, May. 4 months. There were 4 months between this episode and the next episode. So it's like it literally was released with the intent of there being a break after this episode. So I'm really, really thinking I probably should. Let me get through like more of the events of the episode, and I'll by the time we get to the end, I'll determine if I do, and then I have to figure out what the hell I'm going to replace this with. Okay, so this episode, follow up from last, Chloe's poisoned and everything, and we find out how it happened. That was one of the big questions. Apparently, during the scuffle with him, before he killed himself, the professor was able to, like, nick her or something with enough of the poison, like jab her, and she just didn't realize, because in the moment, it's like, your adrenaline's going, and on top of that, they're in the middle of a scuffle and a fight. It's like, just wouldn't have noticed. But we see Lucifer obviously kind of forgetting for a moment about the entire, like, preordained aspect to all of this, and just trying to save her, because no matter what, he still adores her. And so we see through this episode, not only him, but kind of the entire crew working together to save her. Even Charlotte. Like, she even comes in and starts to help out. And that in and of itself is really interesting because, again, like I mentioned, Charlotte's kind of been the main villain of the season. But it's like this episode makes it more clear than ever that she's not a villain. She's the antagonist of the season, but she's not really a villain. She just does not, like God anymore. She's trying, although I thought the entire plan was to get the entire family back together. She wants basically everyone but him back together because she just wants to get back at him. And she basically, it's basically said here that, like, the entire goal was to, like, kind of use Lucifer against him. Which, okay, that's pretty scummy. But no matter what, she does end up helping here. She even willingly chooses to go back to hell, which she is as afraid of as one can get. just to rescue Lucifer, because that is what she wants. She wants to save her family. She wants to be with her family. That is her main goal. And so through this, she gets to at least help him. Like, she doesn't care about helping Chloe. She just does not care, because we know how she views humans. She basically refuses to properly perceive them as living beings or anything. She sees them as, basically, she sees them as insignificant as we see ants. It's basically the equivalent of that. But she does help because she wants to get Lucifer back. She wants to save him. That's her goal. Unfortunately, with all the manipulation and, everything that she's done, Lucifer's not really willing to forgive or forget. And we see by the end that he, has not just completely turned against her, because that's already kind of happened, but he's basically done with her shit. Completely done with it. He doesn't want anything to do with her ever again. And mind you, we know, she's still going to be part of this series. She's not just going to be gone. But I'm just wondering, what do you do from this point? Where do you go? And so that's kind of in line with, I don't know where this season is going after this. You also have, obviously Amenadiel and Maze and just everyone helping out and doing a great job in this. I love seeing, Amenadiel, stand strong and, continue to follow, his orders, basically, you could say. Which, yeah, is very much him. But he also genuinely wants to help because he's a good guy. Maze wants to help because obviously she cares greatly for Chloe. I don't know why my mind blanked there. And speaking of, we also have the doctor, whose name I also am blanking on at the moment because I'm dumb like this. Why can I never fucking remember her name? But she wants to help because, again, she's also friends with Chloe, and she's also just friends with Lucifer and wants to help and everything. It's great to see, all of these characters coming together. Dan has a role as well. Even Ella. Even she gets a role in all of this. All of our characters serve a purpose in this episode, which, again, makes it feel like a season finale. All of our characters serving a purpose and making, this big stand to save Chloe. It's come on. It's just pretty crazy. And getting to see the professor, going through his hell and seeing that, basically their hell is dealing with their biggest regrets and their biggest, fears and reliving the worst moments of their lives and shit over and over again. It's that makes sense as a punishment in hell. Seeing him have to deal with his mistake and his choice and how everybody views him because of that. Lucifer's hell obviously being him reliving him killing his brother, which makes sense because that's been very much carrying over for him this entire season. Ever since he killed Uriel, it's that has been weighing heavy on him. Which, yeah, of course, it would. So, it really feels like this just was trying to kind of wrap that up while setting up for the future. Because there's the entire thing about what Uriel said as well, which I don't know if we heard that before, if it was just whispered in his ear and it's not something we as viewers were privy to. But apparently a piece of something is here, I guess on Earth. I don't know what that would be referring to, but okay. He was trying to tell Lucifer something and we didn't quite get answers in this episode, but it sets up for the future. We learn a lot about Ella through this, through her helping out, and again, it's kind of weird to say, but actually giving her this nuance by telling us that she used to be like this criminal and used to do all this crazy stuff, stealing cars, knows how to lockpick because of her grandmother. Her brother is a criminal and everything. It's like that's the kind of character development that actually makes me trust her more. Because I made it no secret that she's been like one of the characters I trust the least. Just everything about her has seemed like very suspicious to me. But this actually makes me kind of turn around a little on that. Not completely, but it's like, weirdly enough, the fact that she's like, as much as she's talked about like God and stuff like that, the fact that she used to be a criminal and stuff is like, huh, maybe there's nothing weird and suspicious about her. Maybe she's, just kind of a weirdo. Which she's definitely a bit of a weirdo, which is fine. I like characters like that, but huh. It just makes me do some thinking. Again, I'm not like fully convinced she's not suspicious. It's just I'm more convinced. I really love the moment with Amenadiel and Trixie. Um, because that hug, you could tell from his expression. Great acting, by the way. Great expressive acting. You could tell how much that hug meant to him. And I think that's going to do a lot to continue his change, his development, his growth. I think he might start turning against Charlotte as well. I think that he's going to start like turning himself around quite a bit because that clearly affected him. Early on in the season, we got a lot of development for Maze, and if we get a lot more for him now through this later half of the season, I am all good for that. um, but yeah, this episode really felt like it was a big episode. Again, like a season finale. Like, this didn't feel like a mid-season finale kind of thing, right? It felt like a full season finale. Like, this felt like it was the big closure to the season as a whole. So it's gonna be weird to continue this. And yeah, like I was saying, trying to continue even at this point right now would feel very off. And it just doesn't feel right. And part of this is obviously because of my views on binging through shows. I believe that breaks actually help shows maintain their what's the word? Retainability. They allow them to retain viewers and interest longer. But also, just for me, and I've talked about this before, I tend to enjoy shows better when I do have breaks. When I do, like, wait to get back to stuff. Because it allows me to really absorb the information of previous episodes in, like, a season or previous seasons altogether. And allows me to really, get invested in seeing more. Taking a break, it's like, oh, I'm going to get like more and more excited to come back to it eventually. It's going to get me more and more hyped. If I just continue all the way through it, there's the possibility of me just feeling I am having a hard time with words and phrases today. It's not going to completely break my investment in the show, but I will, at least to a small degree, start working towards like feeling burnt out. And that's not what I want. Like, even if there's a chance of becoming burnt out, it's like I want to avoid that. And like I said, I also just want to be able to have that break to allow me to get that hype back up. And with the way this episode, like, was in general, but also the way it ended, I don't feel comfortable or right continuing right now. This genuinely came out of nowhere. I was not expecting to, like, put this on hold. And now I got to look at my list. I'll just bring it up on my phone instead of looking on my computer. Give me a second to bring it up, but I gotta look at my list to determine what the heck I'm going to replace this with. Um, though I actually want to check something else real quick. How long are episodes of Daredevil? Okay, so yeah, they're about the same. So that's actually also probably a good thing then, because if Daredevil episodes are double length, I don't. I was kind of mulling around the idea with me starting Daredevil on Friday. It's like, do I want to have two shows that are going to have longer episodes like this? Um, I was questioning that when I originally chose this or Daredevil to come on to Fridays, but this actually helps out. Like this is just useful for that. But let me check my shows here. So we specifically want something. I think we want to do something that's a donation reward because Lucifer's a donation reward for Venom. So I think we want to replace this with something else that's a dono reward because I feel like that just keeps it fair. I guess is a way to put it. I have a list of different reward shows we could get to. Um, Ones I've started before in the past, ones that I haven't started yet. There's a couple ideas here, and I'm just kind of debating like which one I really would want to do, which one I would want to like get to next, basically. Um, bu- 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 Give me just a second here, because it's like this is obviously a very intense series with emotion and story and whatnot. Do I want something that's going to be a little more lighthearted? Do I want something that's going to be a little more fun? Do I want something I just don't know what it's going to be like? Cuz I got a lot of options obviously. There's a lot of things that I've started in the past that I could get back to. It's just a matter of I think right now I don't want something that's going to be like super heavy, I think, if I can help it. Maybe have something a little bit lighter. Uh or at least something that might be a little bit lighter. Cuz some of these I obviously don't know if they're going to be. Um Let me see here. Again, I have various options. And it's just a matter of like what do I want to get to? I don't think I want to do another live action series, so there's that aspect of things. I think I would rather choose something that's like animated right now. Hmm. Sorry, I know this isn't super interesting, but I again, I was not expecting to do this today, so I was not prepared. I'm looking at my list here. There's a lot of options. I don't want to necessarily like go through them all. Give me a second to check up on something here. I'm gonna check like a couple things in terms of like how many episodes they have and stuff, because that could give me like a view of like what I might want to do. Because it's like so if a show's like super long, I might not want to get to it right now. Hmm. Ooh, this one actually looks pretty short. So maybe I'll do that. Let me check one more. How long is this one? Will you tell me? Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking between two of them here. And I know just what I'm going to do. I did this for something else just recently, and I'm going to do it again here. So, as you can see, we have a coin flip simulator up, and I'm going to flip it, and one of the options is head, one of them is tails. I'm not going to tell you what's what, but I have it in my head. Option A or option B, let's see what we get. Okay, so it's option A. So we will be reacting to, let me try to get this name completely right. Shoujo Kageki Review Starlight. This is a donation reward for Calypso. So yeah, thanks for that, Calypso. We will be starting that. It's not a super long series, and I don't know if like, oh, after we get to this, we'll get back to Lucifer. I'm not gonna promise that. I don't know for sure. It's gonna be like, oh, am I in the mood to get back to Lucifer at this point? Am I ready to get back to it? Has it been enough time for me? I don't know. But yeah, so Shoujo Kageki Review Starlight is going to take the place on Tuesdays of Lucifer Season 2. And we will be back with Lucifer Season 2, the final 5 episodes, in the future. But yeah, I think this is the right decision. Based on where this episode left off, it's just, I can't see myself continuing right now. It would make no sense to me with where this left off. It's like, it's basically telling me I have to take a break. So yeah, I apologize, Venom, and anyone else who really likes my reactions to this, and thank you for really liking my reactions to this. And again, it will be back. I will continue reacting to Lucifer because I really enjoy the show, and I just need some time off to give it time for me to be ready for more. And again, it just kind of funny enough works out considering the first I did the first 7 episodes, took a break, then did 6 episodes. Now I'm taking another break, and when we come back, we're going to do 5 episodes. It worked out in a really fun way there, and it's, again, maybe it's my autism, but that just makes my brain happy for some reason. But yeah. So there you have it, a surprise, unexpected switch up. I guess we'll see what happens in this series because I know nothing about it. Shoujo Kageki Review Starlight. Shoujo just means girl, right? Specific age of girl, I believe, but still. Maybe it's a magical girl series? I don't know. Do not tell me, by the way. If you know what it is, do not tell me. I want to go into it as blind as possible, and I am pretty much as blind as possible on it, so we shall see when we get to that next week. For the time being, though, thank you, as always, so much for tuning in. Thank you to Venom for having donated for this once again. And I definitely am going to build up my hype and excitement for when this series returns, for when I bring it back. And then, again, we'll do the final 5 episodes. And hopefully whatever is left in this season at least makes an even better finale than this. Thank you all so much, as always, for tuning in. If there's anything you wanted to hear my thoughts on that I didn't mention, which is very possible, please leave that down in the comments below. And if there's anything you want to ask or talk about, just leave that in the comments as well. For now, though, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See you all next time.